Welcome to Lyrics Behind the Music, the podcast where every episode dives into the story, symbolism, and emotional truth behind one of our songs. From medieval heartbreak to modern metal, from cosmic duets to candlelit confessions, we explore the meanings we wrote, the meanings we discovered, and the meanings we never expected. This is where the music ends, and the real story begins. This is the story behind Voidbreaker, a heavy metal journey. In the cold silence between dying suns, a story began to take shape, a story of isolation, of fear, of a lone pilot drifting through the void with nothing but a failing ship and a whisper in the dark that somehow knew their name. Voidbreaker was born from that image, a soul suspended in the black, waiting for something to answer back. The first spark came from a simple question. What if the universe wasn't empty? What if the silence wasn't silence at all, but something listening? That idea became the opening breath of the song drifting through the black, no signal on the line, a confession whispered into a dead comms channel. The pilot is already lost before the monster ever appears. The void isn't the enemy. The void is the mirror. As the story deepened, the universe itself began to twist. Starlight bleeding in colors no human eye should see. That line became the heartbeat of the entire track, a reminder that beauty and terror often share the same face. It's the heavy metal movie aesthetic, neon storms, cosmic psychedelia, and the unsettling sense that the universe is laughing softly, patiently, waiting for you to understand the joke. But every horror story needs a monster, and Voidbreaker's creature isn't claws or teeth. It's awareness, intention, recognition. There's a monster in the starlight, and it knows my name. That's the moment the song stops being about space and becomes about the fear of being seen, truly seen by something ancient enough to remember the birth of galaxies. The pilot isn't running from a creature, they're running from destiny. Then came the message in the static, carved in ultraviolet screams, not written, not spoken. A warning encoded in light, trauma burned into the fabric of the universe. This is where the story shifts from fear to revelation. The pilot realizes the void is not just alive, it is hungry, and the ship they're drifting in isn't a sanctuary. It's a coffin drifting toward something that wants to open it. The emotional core of Voidbreaker arrives in the bridge. No gods out here, no saviors near. It's the moment of brutal clarity. No one is coming. No one can hear you. And the only way out is through. It's not despair, it's acceptance. A metal-forged understanding that survival isn't guaranteed, and maybe it never was. And then comes the transformation. Let the universe consume me. I'll be metal in its veins. The pilot stops running, stops fearing, stops pretending to be small. They become part of the cosmic machinery, a weapon forged in terror, a myth born from annihilation, a soul that refuses to die quietly. This is the moment the human becomes the legend. The hunted becomes the hunter. The lost becomes the Voidbreaker. In the end, the pilot's voice fades. The ship drifts. The stars whisper. And somewhere in the black, a new legend awakens a heavy metal journey. A dark comic, a scream into the infinite. And in the end, when the last chord fades and the final scream dissolves into static, all that remains is the echo of a pilot who refused to die quietly. The Voidbreaker drifts now, half machine, half myth, carried by currents of dark matter and memory. No one knows where it's headed. No one knows if the pilot inside is still human, or something the universe forged in its own image. But sometimes, in the deep channels of long-range scanners, A signal flickers faint, distorted, impossible. A voice whispering through the static like a ghost trapped between dimensions. Some say it's a warning, others say it's a promise. Most refuse to believe it at all. Yet the legend persists. They say if you listen closely, you can hear the hum of a ship that shouldn't exist, a heartbeat made of metal and starlight pulsing in the dark. They say the void remembers the ones who face it without fear. They say the pilot became more than lost, more than broken, more than human. They became the thing the universe whispers about when the stars go dim. And somewhere, far beyond the reach of any map, the Voidbreaker moves through the black, not as a victim, not as a survivor, but as a force. A reminder that even in the coldest corners of creation, a single soul can ignite a legend that refuses to fade. The story ends here, but the echo continues. A heavy metal journey, a dark comic, a scream into the infinite. Song may end, but the story never does. These were the lyrics behind the music, the heartbreak, the humor, the myth, and the memory. If you felt something, if you saw yourself in the melody, then maybe, just maybe, the song was meant for you too. Until next time, keep listening for the truth beneath the tune.